The Phillies versus Mets series is going to be exciting for the next few years because these teams hate each other. The meme has been who is going to be the fourth place team going into the next season. The Mets were supposed to be really good, but now Lindor is not playing that well. Rhys Hoskins is back in business, and Dominic Smith is telling Phillies pitcher Jose Alvarado if he wants to meet in the hallway, they can handle it like men. But what's going on, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. If this is your first time on the channel, we do this every single day, so don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. We're going to go ahead and jump straight into the games from yesterday, starting off with the Cardinals beating up the Pittsburgh Pirates 7-3. Nolan Arenado had two doubles. Tyler O'Neill, who is quietly playing pretty well over the last week, he hits a home run to put the Cardinals out in front early. As John Gant, he has been absolutely sensational, lights out since the beginning of 2020. He goes 5 innings, only allows 1 run, despite walking 5 different Pirates hitters. Matt Carpenter, he has been horrible the last 2 seasons. In his last 2 at-bats, he has 2 3-run home runs, so 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, the last 2 times that he's made contact with the baseball, so good for him. I really do miss prime Matt Carpenter. He was one of the best stories in baseball with that whole salsa thing. The Yankees blanked the Tigers 10-0. This was pretty much the first wipeout win for the Yankees. Garrett Cole and Aaron Judge, they were pretty much all that the Yankees needed yesterday, and I mean that. Seriously, Garrett Cole strikes out 6 in a row at one point. You have Aaron Judge ending April with 7 home runs, 15 RBIs, a 953 OPS after hitting 2 home runs yesterday, including an opposite field second deck grand slam. The ball flies in right field in New York. You have Giancarlo Stanton with 3 straight 3-hit games. I know I jinxed the Tigers and that they've been pitiful the last 2 weeks, but you have to tip your cap to the Yankees because they could be back in business. I could have sworn that the Cubs were playing yesterday because you have John Lester starting for the Nationals. He goes 5 innings of scoreless baseball. He's battling Pablo Lopez of the Marlins, who is just as good. He goes 7 scoreless innings, and they only combined for 3 strikeouts. So in the era where strikeouts are prominent, only 3 strikeouts combined for both starters. That's pretty crazy. Now, the reason why I say I thought it was a Cubs game is because John Lester started that game, and Kyle Schwarber finished it with a walk-off home run. So poor Pablo Lopez, he doesn't factor in that decision because the bullpen blows up. Brad Hand had a terrific 2 innings before that walk-off home run. Look at the Nationals doing big things. So they beat the Marlins 2-1. Another 2-1 ball game. The Phillies versus the Mets. This only really happens in MLB The Show. The Phillies scored 2 on a wild pitch, and then things got heated. Jose Alvarado, he strikes out Dominic Smith, and then he's saying, I do the talking on the field. He kind of points at Dominic Smith, and Dominic Smith, we know that he is not going to back down from anyone, so this happened. Later on, after the game, Dominic Smith was not done chirping. He came out and said this.
I mean, him pointing at me, coming after me and stuff like that, I mean, I'm a grown-ass man, come meet me then if you really got a problem. That's how I look at that issue. He waited for his team to grab him and stuff, but, I'm right there. And he could meet me in the tunnel tomorrow if he really want to get after it.
So let me know in the comment section down below, whose side are you on? Are you on the side of Jose Alvarado, where he was just getting passionate, and did he show up Dominic Smith, or did Dominic Smith overreact? I don't really think that either of them overreacted. It's entertainment. I'm perfectly fine with it. Now, we do have to bring up Francisco Lindor again because he ended that game yesterday with a ground out. He went 0 for 5, and his batting average now sits at 189. A lot of people are saying that he's overrated, overpaid. I would say pump the brakes, please. I promise you. He goes through peaks and valleys. He's going to be fine. Joey Votto hit home run number 300 for his career. Eugenio Suarez and Nick Senzel. Senzel has been playing like a monster the last 7 days. They both homer, and then Joey Votto adds a double in the 4th inning. So the Reds, they go up by a few runs. The Cubs almost storm back in the later innings, and then TJ Antone has to come in and say, no, I'm going to go ahead and save this game, and that's exactly what he does. Side note, Chris Bryant is back. 7 home runs, 19 RBIs, and a 1078 OPS in the first month of the season. If he continues to play like this for the rest of the year, he is going to be in that conversation to win MVP yet again, along with Bryce Harper, Ronald Acuna Jr., Fernando Tatis. I think that Juan Soto is going to be in there. And if I missed anyone, please let me know. But Chris Bryant, absolutely dominating baseball right now. Carlos Correa and Alex Bregman bring in the first 3 runs of yesterday's ballgame versus the Rays, and then Aledmys Diaz drives in 4 as the Astros beat the Rays 9-2. Lance McCullers was untouchable, going 7 scoreless innings with 9 strikeouts. The Rays and the Astros, a repeat of the American League Championship Series. I feel like this is going to be a fun series to watch. So even if you're not a fan of those teams, I would recommend watching those because I think the next game is not going to be a blowout like the 9-2 score that we saw yesterday. The Jays blew out the Braves yesterday 13-5. Bo Bichette hit a home run to a kid wearing his jersey. 4 home runs later, it is now 10-0. Alejandro Kirk, I mean, he was the star. He's 5'8", 270 pounds, so he is proving that you can be a short little fat guy and still be amazing at baseball. He had no cheapies. Both of his home runs traveled 428 feet or further. Vladimir and Lourdes Gurriel Jr. make it 13-5, and that is pretty much all that she wrote for that one. And I do have to mention that Mike Soroka was just transferred to the 60-day DL, so that is some bad news for Braves fans. Moving on over to the Red Sox. You know how we talked about how Aaron Judge pretty much won that game for the Yankees? Yeah, you could say the same about JD Martinez. He is putting the world on notice. Everyone that doubted him in 2020, he is just gunning for them. He hits his 9th home run of the season. He drove in his league-leading 25th RBI. He is now 2 out of 3 in the Triple Crown category with 9 home runs, 25 RBIs. Nathan Eovaldi was really good with 6 innings, only 1 run, and 5 strikeouts. And they have the biggest lead in all of baseball. They're 3.5 games ahead of the Jays for first place. So honestly, a lot of people have been saying the Red Sox are going to come back down to earth. When is that going to happen? When your offense is that special, you're going to win a lot of ball games. Cleveland beats the White Sox 5-3 yesterday. They do all of their damage in the 3rd inning as Shane Bieber, yes, he gives up 3 runs, but he makes history, striking out 11 hitters. That sets a record that is the most consecutive starts in a row with 8 strikeouts or more with 18. He also joins Pedro Martinez as the only 2 pitchers in MLB history to have 2 seasons in which they've had 6 starts with 65 plus strikeouts. So he has been a strikeout machine. Jose Ramirez proves that he might be the best hitter in Cleveland history over Francisco Lindor, maybe even over Manny Ramirez. Now that might be a little bit, dramatic because Manny was the guy when he played with Cleveland. A lot of people don't even remember that happened, but it did. Brian Shaw has been electric along with James Karinchak and Emmanuel Clase. Those 3 guys, if you are losing, you're probably going to lose. Alex Kirilloff of the Minnesota Twins, he's a young guy that has all of the tools to be special. He had his first 2 home runs of his career yesterday as Byron Buxton makes a laughable comic book hero. You should not be able to make this play grab. He is the leader right now for me to win MVP. Michael Pineda goes a fantastic 5 innings of 1-run ball. And then like I said, Kirilloff does it again. The Twins are surprisingly 9-15 on the season, but the offense has been coming around as of late, so maybe it was just the cold weather. The Brewers beat the Dodgers. The Dodgers have been struggling as of late. You have Jackie Bradley homering, and then Freddie Peralta took care of the rest. That 3-headed monster with Corbin Burns and Brandon Woodruff. It is hard to get base hits on a consistent basis against those 3 guys. He goes 6 innings, only 1 hit, and that was a home run off the bat of AJ Pollock. 7 strikeouts. The Dodgers now fall to 3-7 in their last 10. I want Dodgers fans to let me know in the comment section down below, what is the panic meter at? For me, just like Francisco Lindor, it's very low. Lindor is at about a 2. I would say the Dodgers is at a 0 because they're still the Dodgers. They have one of the most balanced and best rosters ever constructed, so I still believe in that squad. The Orioles, they beat the A's yesterday. John Means was torched by Sean Murphy, but Sean Murphy has been torching everyone lately. He settles down. Cedric Mullins and Austin Hayes, they go back-to-back in the 3rd inning. Cedric Mullins is top 10 in WAR in the American League. He hits another home run, so that is 34 base hits, 4 home runs, almost 10 RBIs, and a 932 OPS on the season. And then Valdez gets his 6th save of the year, so they are playing pretty well as a team. Yeah, their record is not going to be that great, but overall they have some surprise players. The Diamondbacks offense is disgusting. They beat the Rockies 7-2 as Drupal Cabrera drives in an RBI. David Peralta is up to 22 on the season, so he is top 5. Eduardo Escobar continues his assault on pitchers. Bumgarner is back, ladies and gentlemen. He has 2 earned runs combined in his last 3 3 starts, and Josh Rojas, who broke out in spring training, was horrible the first 2 weeks of the season. He is finding his swing again. The Diamondbacks are 9-2 in their last 11 games. And then the final 2 games from yesterday, some West Coast games. Mitch Haniger and Dylan Moore, they both homer for the Mariners, but Ohtani, I still can't believe that Ohtani is a living, breathing baseball player. Like, you should not be a starting pitcher that can also be in second place for home runs going into the second month of the season. Dylan Moore and Tom Murphy, they reclaim the lead, and then Bad Angels defense and Mariners speed, they do the rest. The Mariners are 12th in team ERA, so their pitching is really getting it done. I picked Yu Darvish to win the Cy Young over the offseason, and Jacob deGrom simply laughed at me, but Yu Darvish has started off fantastic. He goes 6 1/3 with 1 earned run and 12 strikeouts. Jerkson Profar wins it with a single. There are 4 teams above 500 right now in that NL West, and they're all really good. Hey everyone, well, that does it for today's MLB recap. Thank you all so much for stopping by. If you did enjoy, do not forget to leave a like as well as subscribe on the channel. We are on the road to 300,000 subscribers. Use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek to save 20 bucks off any ticket, and also follow me on my social medias at Fuzzy from YT, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, all that different stuff. We stream almost every day. Stay safe out there and enjoy this day in MLB history.
1-0 deficit. Ricky goes, a pitch taken, he's going to have it. He does. Ricky Henderson, no contest, steals third base, jerks the bag from its moorings, and holds it aloft, representing number 939.